Chapter 5. I did not speak to Augustus again for about a week. I had called him on the night of the broken trophies, so per tradition it was his turn to call. But he didn't. Now, it wasn't as I held my phone in my sweaty hand all day, staring at it while wearing my special yellow dress, patiently waiting for my gentleman caller to live up to his sobriquet. I went about my life. I met Caitlin and her, cute but frankly not Augustinia, boyfriend for coffee one afternoon. I ingested my recommended daily allowance of phalancyphal. I attended classes 3 mornings that week at MCC, and every night I sat down to dinner with my mom and dad. Sunday night, we had pizza with green peppers and broccoli. We were seated around our little circular table in the kitchen when my phone started singing, but I wasn't allowed to check it because we have a strict no phones during dinner rule. So I ate a little while mom and dad talked about this earthquake that had just happened in Papua New Guinea. They met in the Peace Corps in Papua New Guinea, and so whenever anything happened there, even something terrible, it was like all of a sudden they were not large sedentary creatures, but the young and idealistic and self-sufficient and rugged people they had once been. And their rapture was such that they didn't even glance over at me as I ate faster than I'd ever eaten, transmitting items from my plate into my mouth with a speed and ferocity that left me quite out of breath, which of course made me worry that my lungs were again swimming in a rising pool of fluid. I banished the thought as best I could. I had a PET scan scheduled in a couple weeks. If something was wrong, I'd find out soon enough. Nothing to be gained by worrying between now and then. And yet, still I worried. I liked being a person. I wanted to keep at it. Worry is yet another side effect of dying. Finally, I finished it and said, "Can I be excused?" And they hardly even paused from their conversation about the strengths and weaknesses of Guinean infrastructure. I grabbed my phone from my purse on the kitchen counter and checked my recent calls. Augustus Waters. I went out the back door into the twilight. I could see the swing set, and I thought about walking out there and swinging while I talked to him, but it seemed pretty far away given that eating tired me. Instead, I lay down in the grass on the patio's edge, looked up at Orion, the only constellation I could recognize, and called him. "Hazel Grace," he said. "Hi," I said. "How are you?" "Grand," he said. "I have been wanting to call you on a nearly monthly basis, but I have been waiting until I could form a coherent thought on imperial affliction." He said in Ray. He really did, that boy. And I said, "I think it's like reading it. I just kept feeling like. Like? I asked, teasing him. "Like it was a gift?" he said askingly. "Like you'd given me something important." "Oh," I said quietly. "That's cheesy." He said, "I'm sorry." "No," I said. "No, don't apologize." "But it doesn't end." "Yeah," I said. "Torture. I totally get it, like, I get that she died or whatever." "Right, I assume so," I said. "And okay, fair enough. But there is this unwritten contract between author and reader, and I think not ending your book kind of violates that contract." "I don't know," I said, feeling defensive of Peter Van Houten. "That's part of what I like about the book in some ways. It portrays death truthfully. You die in the middle of your life, in the middle of a sentence. But I do really want to know what happens to everyone else." That's what I asked him in my letters. But he never answered. "Right. You said he is a recluse?" "Correct. Impossible to track down." "Correct." "Utterly unreachable," Augustus said. "Unfortunately so," I said. Dear Mr. Waters, he answered, I am writing to thank you for your electronic correspondence, received via Mrs. Vigilanthart this 6th of April, from the United States of America, insofar as geography can be said to exist in our triumphantly digitized contemporaneity. Augustus, what the hell? He has an assistant, Augustus said. Read by Vigilanthart. I found her. I emailed her. She gave him the email. He responded via her email account. Okay, keep reading.